So over here at Ponteland Leisure Centre in the second round proper of the Adobe Women's FA Cup, it's finished Ponteland United Women 0, Altrincham Women 1. I'm certainly struggling to find the words to keep on describing this FA Cup journey. I'm joined by manager Daryll Abrahams. Daryll, can you put into words just how that feels?
It's unimaginable. We know the level and the height that the girls can get to, and they're certainly on that ladder and the pathway to get where they want to be and they deserve to be. We have so many quality footballers, technical footballers and personality players in the squad. However, today was a different element. They had to look at the psychological side, the mental side. It was really physically demanding, but we did something that nobody thought we were capable of doing. We've wrote history again, and we always want to kick on, and we're capable of creating even more history in the future.
Yeah, first half we came under the cosh a lot. We had the wind against us. Obviously Ponteland seemed to have a lot of the ball, a lot of the chances, but we really dug in deep there.
Yeah, defensively as a unit, we've always spoke about how important it is. Sometimes it's more important to be defensively organised and safe rather than go all out to try and attack and score goals. There's moments in games, football always has different moments you have to battle with. We certainly had a fair share of defensive duels and moments out of possession today, which we expected against a team a league above, a physically demanding team who was very fit, athletic fitness with them, very fast, very strong, muscular endurance was really high. But our girls played a different way today. They had to manage to defeat a team that's better unit than you in a higher level, but they adapted really well. They trained really well in the week, but the mental side is something we're really trying to hit in and hit home now with the girls to develop that side, because we have so many young players who are developing, and the mental side and the psychological side is really, really important now going into the future.
Yeah, we saw Miller Jacobson start in that false nine position that she did so well in last week. Didn't seem to have quite the desired effect, but she looked a lot better in the second half when we moved her deeper. Was that the thinking behind getting Kira Saysal on at half time?
I think the plan was definitely, if you get Kira Saysal on, the 20% margin of scoring more goals increases in the team. Miller Jacobson's a great player. However, we thought to get the best out of her, it just wasn't clicking today in that false nine position, but she can play any position on the pitch, and I mean any position. You see her heat map and she's covering a lot of ground. We had to put her into that number 10 position. We wanted to play down the middle, get her the ball, she can create things, and when she did get that free roam position, she went round, she brought the ball from deeper areas through the thirds. Kira was wanting to be on the end of it to finish it off. However, sometimes, like we said, moments in games, things drop for you. Decisions definitely went our way, except from the penalty, what I thought we should have just before Nat scored. But I thought every single player worked their socks off, and even the game changers that come on and do their minutes and do their job for the team. And unfortunately, the players that didn't get on the pitch, their role off the pitch to support the girls was there. So everyone really dug deep today and showed how we win a football match and how we want to be successful, and we're going to do that going into the future.
Yes, things certainly did drop for us for the goal, as you mentioned, and how nice was it to see Nat Lowe, who's obviously led the team as captain to this stage in the FA Cup, be the one to fire us into the next round.
Nat, there's so many words you can describe for a player. I think when you talk about legends of the women's game, she's a living legend and a player that's still playing. She's played a lot of years for Altrincham. She thoroughly deserves to be a captain. When you think of a captain and a role model in your head, if you ask somebody to draw a picture of a role model and put little words next to it what a role model means and does, Nat Lowe is a perfect example of that. Her leadership on pitch, her leadership off the pitch, her communication skills, her personality. She could be strict sometimes, and sometimes she can be nice to you and put her arm around your shoulder when you need it. She's a very good person reader and understands a scenario and has the best way to deal with it. And by example today, she should have won as a penalty, which we didn't get given, but then she was resilient enough to get back on her feet, keep playing, be ruthless, be brave, take on the last defender, and two players were sliding at her to take her out. She got the ball, she shot with her weaker foot, which is really brave to start with, into the top corner. She got taken out in the process. She didn't even see the goal go in, but that bravery and that determination shows you a leader who will fight for you, fight for the team and fight for the girls. and she definitely got the reward through the goal she scored.
She certainly did, but it wasn't just Nat Lowe, it was a real team performance out there from 1 to 11, and the subs that came on, like last week, they seem to have a real impact out there.
Yeah, the game changers, and I always say this in the team talk, because you're a game changer, because you're a substitute, it's not always the best players start the game. Sometimes we know and we have a game plan of what can affect the game in certain scenarios, and I think even Millie Kalu coming on in the dying minutes, press the ball down, give that more energy where Elise was a little bit tiring. I think Carmen coming on in the central defensive midfield position where Sophie psychologically and physically getting tired, so Carmen comes in and Carmen slows the game down, and her strengths are keeping the ball close and making the right decisions. I thought every single player, the players that came on, the players that played the game defensively as well, was very, very key today. And Brianna and Iri plus Olivia in goal, that partnership was probably the best game I've ever seen them play, and they deserved the clean sheet against the team a league above.
Yeah. Pride is something that you mentioned a lot in the week leading up to this game. I'm sure that you couldn't be any prouder of the girls now.
Proud, absolutely, and I'm saying this every single round, every single week, through win, draw or loss, through sunshine, through the rain, I am so proud. And the more important thing is we know that people are proud of us as well. And when people are proud of you, you don't want to let them down, and you want to kick on and be successful and win matches. But I think the key word for us today was proving. The key sentence was proving people wrong. I know there's a lot of people who will be looking at us from higher leagues and higher divisions and thinking, let's draw Altrincham. And I'm sure Ponteland would have thought the same when they've got our draw compared to some teams they could play against. But we definitely proved people wrong. Some people will be raising their eyebrows at our results, but I told you this from the very start when we lost to Nantwich 8-1. We are capable of being very successful. We want to be dominant in the league, especially towards the end of this season, and hopefully being a title contender going into next season, because we want to be successful, we want to climb through the leagues. We thoroughly deserve everything, and the players deserve everything that they put in.
The supporters out there were certainly proud of the efforts of the whole team, and how nice was it to have that moment with them at the end.
Yeah, very emotional moments, and I think the more important thing was, instead of me doing a team talk with the girls, you must go over to the families, the friends, the carers, because they're the ones who mean the most to them. And when you play, you talk about being proud, or people being proud of you, your family, your friends, your carers, your family friends, your cousins, everyone is so important in the role of that player. And like we said, we want to develop the psychological and mental side of things, and having your support and having the love behind you from your family is really, really important to keep that mental state healthy, and a mental health, having a healthy mental health is really important, especially for our girls growing up, turning into young adults. It's really important we have that, and that moment is something that you remember for the rest of your life. That moment of you running over to your family, your friends, your carers, giving them a hug, smiling, getting into tears, myself as well. It's something you cannot create feelings like, and the lowest of the lows you have when you lose a game, when you draw a game, but when you win, especially in situations like you've won today, you cannot get a feeling like it ever again.